I wish I had come across content on narcissistic abuse 20 years ago. It would have saved my life. I wish I had found your channel 15 years ago. It would have stopped me from making some major mistakes. I wish I had known I was dealing with a narcissist. It would have saved my relationship with my only child. These are the types of comments that I and other experts on narcissism get. These are posted by survivors of narcissistic abuse who feel defeated by time and they feel guilty for not knowing better, because the signs in the early stages are quite subtle but recognizable. What are these signs? I'm going to share with you in today's episode. I'm going to equip you with the knowledge that can save you from a great deal of pain, that can save your time and your finances. I am Danish, a psychologist and a narcissistic abuse recovery professional. In today's episode, we will learn about 5 early signs you can use to detect a narcissist and save your life. These signs are subtle and have everything to do with your experience and what you are going through with them quite early on. So stay until the very end and become a narcissist kryptonite for real. Sign number 1, and the biggest sign: you find yourself justifying their abusive behavior. You blame it on their childhood or their lost relationship because you have been lied to. You have been told, oh, my ex was crazy, my husband was abusive. They have created a sense of obligation to be a better person to them. They have given you a responsibility, or should I say, burdened you with the responsibility to fix their life, to heal them, and you have unconsciously taken that role. What does that do? Well, it forces you to justify their bad behavior, step into denial, and give them unnecessary space and chances they do not deserve. Whenever they do something that is inappropriate, unacceptable, and hurtful, you say, oh, it will get better. They have mild anger issues. It's fine. Maybe they're upset. I did something bad to cause them harm. What you see as temporary ends up becoming your permanent. In other words, abuse is the only thing you end up experiencing. And with time, things get worse, you know it. So my advice to you would be, if somebody shows you their true colors, don't change them in your mind. Don't repaint them. If somebody shows they are red, don't make it yellow. See them for who they are. Save yourself from their abuse and call it quits. Have a good list of your non-negotiables ready. The moment you feel violated is the moment you should say goodbye to them. The second sign, and this is a trick, you should ask the person, why do they love you? Like, what is it? You will see it always will come back to them if they're a narcissist. They may say things like, oh, you make me feel seen. You may make me feel accepted, understood. You make me feel heard. That's why I love you. Or you give me a lot of attention. It's always about what they get from you, not how they feel satisfied in the relationship, or that they love you because they love you, because of who you are, because of the compatibility, and because of your personality. For a narcissist, it's always transactional, it's always performance based. So the answers will reveal the same. They will love you because of your performance, which is conditional and temporary. Now, you should be cautious with this one, because trauma survivors can give you a similar answer, especially if they have not felt safe. They may say, you make me feel safe. So you should not look at this one thing in isolation. Instead, you should consider everything shared in this episode and that you know, to check if things add up, to connect the dots and see, okay, this is also another sign of their already existing selfishness. Sign number 3, when you start dreading their presence and you feel drained after conversations because you can't have one with them. You feel like you are always hitting a wall. You cannot get through. It always comes back to you, how it is your fault. You'd rather sit in a car and wait for hours for them to leave, for you to cool down a little bit. Your car or a coffee shop or a garden, a park becomes your safe space. That should not be the case. Why would you dread going to your own home? Why would you fear saying the wrong thing or being around the person who is supposed to be safe for you? That is the impact. Impact is always greater than intent. It does not matter how nicely they behave sporadically. You should focus on how you behave around them. If you're walking on eggshells, that is your sign to leave. Sign number 4, you end up abandoning yourself to ensure they do not abandon you. You abandon your friends and family because they do not want you to be around them. You do not talk to those who made you happy, who gave you a sense of connection. You shrink into a smaller version of yourself. You do not take a part in activities that brought happiness, joy, and a sense of contentment into your life. You only do what pleases them. You start dressing down, cutting off people, and silencing yourself because you're afraid of being who you truly are. You just cope. We call it fawning. You become what you will know, keep them contained or keep their abuse contained. That is not the way to live. That's not a way to be. If you cannot be true to anybody without the fear of being judged, you are not loved. Sign number 5 and the last one. You lose yourself, a bit of you every single day. You start developing weird mental and physical health issues, hypersensitivity to sound, exaggerated startle response. You cry all the time. You're bitter to people. You're irritated, agitated. People get on your nerves quite easily. You're afraid. You're always scrutinizing and interrogating yourself for saying the wrong thing. That's not how relationships work. Your skin acts out. You have gut issues, unexplained nervous system related issues, autoimmune disorders that you never had. You were perfectly okay. You were fine. You were healthy before meeting them. Or at least things were not that bad. But all of a sudden, everything is falling apart. Your body is the biggest indicator of how you're feeling and what you're experiencing with a person. It's not your food. It's not your environment. It is the toxicity that is coming from their rotten self. Take these signs very seriously and do not forget to join my upcoming workshop on betrayal trauma. The link is in the description. With that, let's bring this episode to an end. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you in the next one. Until then, let the healing begin and continue.